much-anticipated summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin began with a warm welcome and a flyover by screaming jets at a U.S. military base in Alaska, but ended with both conceding that they had failed to reach any agreements on how to end the Russia-Ukraine war. Putin got a red carpet welcome and even rode in Trump's presidential limousine from the tarmac to the summit venue. Putin was welcomed into the U.S. after being shunned by Western allies since early 2022 for ordering the invasion of Ukraine. Putin suggested the next sit-down could be in Moscow. Putin got a pleasant reception from the leader of the free world on U.S. soil and walked away hours later without either providing details on what they discussed, whether a ceasefire was any closer to reality, or what the next steps would be. After about 2.5 hours of talks at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Anchorage, the two men appeared before reporters for what had been billed as a joint news conference, but they took no questions. "We had an extremely productive meeting and many points were agreed to. There are just a very few that are left," Trump said. "We didn't get there, but we have a very good chance of getting there." The most telling remark came in a post-summit interview with Fox News. Trump signaled that he and Putin had discussed potential land swaps and security guarantees for Ukraine. "I think those are points that we negotiated, and those are points that we largely have agreed on," Trump said. "In the coming days and weeks, it's likely more will be revealed. There will likely be follow-up talks. But it seems Ukraine, much like the Palestinians, will be expected to give up territory." A special unit in Israel's military was tasked with identifying reporters it could smear as undercover Hamas fighters, to target them and to blunt international outrage over the killing of media workers. The Israeli-Palestinian outlet Plus 972 magazine report found the legitimization cell was set up after the 7th of October to gather information that could bolster Israel's image and shore up diplomatic and military support from key allies. According to the report, in at least one case, the unit misrepresented information in order to falsely describe a journalist as a militant, a designation that in Gaza is in effect a death sentence. Israel killed the Al Jazeera journalist Anas al-Sharif and 3 colleagues in their makeshift newsroom after claiming Sharif was a Hamas commander. Israel has produced an unconvincing dossier of unverified evidence on Sharif's purported Hamas links and failed to address how he would have juggled a military command role with regular broadcast duties in one of the most heavily surveilled places on Earth. The killings focused global attention on the extreme dangers faced by Palestinian journalists in Gaza and Israel's efforts to manipulate media coverage of the war. Foreign reporters have been barred from entering Gaza, apart from a few brief and tightly controlled trips with the Israeli military, who impose restrictions including a ban on speaking to Palestinians. Journalists reporting from the ground in Gaza are the most at risk in the world, with 232 journalists killed by Israeli attacks. This toll exceeds journalist deaths in World Wars I and II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the wars in Yugoslavia, and the post-9/11 wars. Combined intelligence sources told Plus 972 magazine that the legitimization cell worked to undermine the work done by Palestinian journalists as well as their protected status under international law. In the week, Norway's sovereign wealth fund sold its shares in Israeli companies. Due to the backdrop of the ongoing genocide, Egypt has extended a massive gas deal with Israel until 2040, deepening its reliance on energy imports from its neighbor. The agreement, worth $35 billion, is with NewMed Energy, a partner in Israel's Leviathan gas field, and expands a 2019 deal that originally ran for 60 billion cubic meters of gas. Under the new terms, Egypt will now import approximately 130 billion cubic meters over the next 15 years, making it the largest gas export agreement in Israel's history. Israel's Leviathan and Tamar gas fields are connected to Egypt via an undersea pipeline to North Sinai. Egypt uses part of this gas domestically and re-exports the rest as liquefied natural gas to European and Asian markets. This arrangement gives Israel leverage. It has previously halted exports for security and operational reasons, demonstrating its ability to disrupt Egypt's supply when it chooses. Critics say this makes Cairo's ability to apply meaningful pressure on Tel Aviv almost impossible. Many see this as a strategic victory for Israel, which gains both economically and politically. It secures a long-term revenue stream, cements its position as a dominant energy exporter in the Mediterranean, and binds the most populous Arab nation into a structural dependency. Egypt was once a net exporter of liquefied natural gas, but has seen its own production fall sharply in recent years while demand has surged. The country's population has passed 100 10 million, and consumption has been driven higher by economic growth and rising living standards in urban areas. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's government now views uninterrupted electricity as a matter of political survival.